Do you remember that video about all those $5 toys? And we had a bit of a chit-chat about playability, value and collectability. Well, it's time to find out who's won all those. And I'm going to throw in a couple of bonus prizes as well. Well, it sort of comes as no surprise, or maybe a big surprise to some, that the two toys that you see on screen there basically blitzed the numbers here. They've pulled first place, equal first, in the sense of when I tallied up all the numbers in relation to collectability, playability and value for money. And what is interesting about both these brands is they've been around for a very long time now, and they're always pulling some fairly decent innovations and carefully looking at what people like and dislike. So let's have a look at the whole spectrum of what's been happening. Well, this here is a tally up of all the scores that I got via the comments in the video. They're the toys there. There's a score for collectability, scores for playability, scores for value, and there's the totals. The only data that I did not include were the people who came in and they were making great big, groups of items and saying, oh, I think collectability, and instead of just saying one item, they were picking off 3 or 4 toys. That data did not get included in this. There was a little bit of copy and pasting going on of people's comments. I put that in, but I think what's happened is that it skewed some of the numbers up to the ones that won. So remember, there was a little bit of copy and paste replies going on as well. And what has come in equal first is the Lego minifigure and the Hot Wheels. And it wasn't just your normal standard Hot Wheels cars, one of those special ones. And people say, but they're not $5. But in the country where I live, both a Lego minifigure and one of those cars are $5. So I dare say where you live, it's probably half the price. Collectability, look at the Hot Wheels. They got one of the best scores for collectability. So it's very interesting to see. Playability, Lego blitzed it there. Value for money, well, Hot Wheels has just nabbed Lego there. And of course there's a totals there of 53 each. And deservedly so, those two toys came in equal first. Coming in at second, and to me this was a dark horse. This is a toy that I was, very unaware of in a sense. I knew it was around, but I didn't realise how popular it was. What's very interesting here is it's got equal score for both collectability, playability and value. That's very interesting to see. It's got a great balance when it comes to 3 major good components to a toy. But the figure that it's pulled is 27, so that's a long way from that equal first of Lego and Hot Wheels. Nevertheless, Mighty Beans, you have shown us a little trick there. There was also a tie for third place. The Barrel of Monkeys and the SpongeBob plush have tied at third. Collectability, look at SpongeBob, he's pulled 7 there. Look at playability, the Barrel of Monkeys has got a very good score there at 10. And sort of even Stevens there on a value for money. The SpongeBob plush was one of the largest of the $5 toys that I showed in that, so that's 24. And that's only just below the Mighty Beans, but a long way away from the Lego minifigure and the Hot Wheels. Coming in at fourth with a score of 23, and that's only just below SpongeBob, is the Tech Decks. It's, I suppose, a toy which had its heyday just a couple of years back, but look at the playability score. Excellent playability score there, 15. So obviously the children love to play with Tech Decks. It's got a lot of playability. That's something I didn't know. So, from this video, I've learned a lot about the toys that I may present in the future, and the ones that I may not. And all the next toys, I think the first thing to notice is they got much lower scores. But then again, this is a much newer toy, but it is connected to an aging franchise. It's got fairly even scores there, so who knows, in time this toy may show its true place in life. It's the Star Wars fighter pods. It's interesting. Personally, I thought it had very poor value for money. Maybe that's reflected also there by only scoring 3. Well, we saw earlier on that Mighty Beans did pretty well in all this, and they came in second place. Well, the Star Wars Mighty Beans didn't fare so well, and they're down here, and they got a total score of 7, and I dare say the numbers really say it all for that toy. Next up is the Squinkies, and I think they suffered just basically because it's a newish toy, and it's a girl's toy. Possibly if I had trash packs there, if I could find some $5 trash packs, they would have scored much better, but I think they've been let down here by the fact that I basically got a whole bunch of boys watching my stuff. Elmo's figure's got a hammering here, but what is interesting about Elmo is he's been in the news just recently for all the wrong reasons, and maybe his collectability score should be a little bit higher, because if I was you, I'd be going out and collecting as many Elmos as you can. And again, we see a girl's toy, and it has suffered in the figures, and the only reason why I feel this toy has pulled very low figures is because it's a girl's toy. I know Littlest Pet Shop stuff is excellent, and girls love it. Unfortunately, the bulk of the people who came in and made their suggestions were male, so anything like this is going to be hammered Maybe if I should separate them from boys and girls toys if I do it next time round. And rounding up the bottom of the list is the Club Penguin Puffle. It's a very newish sort of toy. I'm sort of surprised that it scored so poorly. Maybe in a couple of years' time, this little guy is going to find his place and crawl up the lists. Yeah, Puffles. Like them or hate them, they're here to stay. About the Mighty Beans, there were some very interesting comments, and the people were saying that it was Series 1, which are the really collectible and valuable beans, and the one that I showed in this video was Series 5. And it's always interesting about Series 1 of something when a toy becomes hyper popular, and if you go and look at your Lego minifigures, I often hear people talking about Series 1 of these, and a lot of people didn't latch onto it until maybe Series 2 and 3, and Series 1 would be the one to have. By the way, I'm from Series 8. There weren't that many people who entered this giveaway, but I've decided to give away some extra prizes as a bit of a surprise. I do lots of surprise stuff now that you don't know about. And this YouTuber's name is Andy Puffle. I looked way back in his history on his feed tab. I look at the feed tab all the time now, and he looked at one of my Krabby videos from a long time ago. But let's have a look at what he has to say. His comment reads like this: I think Lego is the best for money, and also the best for playability, and most collectible toy Lego all the way. And you know what? I tend to agree with you. And I'm pretty sure there are a whole bunch of other people who also agree with you as well. And let's show you what you've won. We're looking at set 4439. It's the amazing helicopter doodah with twin rotors and doodah. And when we have a peruse of the back of the box, we can see just how beautiful this set is. Lego do it so brilliantly every time. I haven't built this set. Maybe you can build it for me and tell me how it works. And Andy Puffle, if you do not claim this prize within a couple of weeks, well, I will find someone else who would like to have it. Well, next one is what I'm calling a surprise prize. Tibmouth Milk 12 gets this. I looked at his feed tab and it just endlessly had my videos in there, so I was really happy. And when looking at Tibmouth Milk 12's comments, it says, to be quite honest, I would say Lego for all three categories. But that's my own personal opinion, which is fairly biased because I only like Lego out of the shown things. Congrats to whoever wins this stuff because I'm fairly certain it won't be me. Well, it's funny, Tibmouth Milk 12, he did enter the Mini-Me giveaway, nearly said the wrong word there, a while back, but you never sent through the videos as a video response. And you had an excellent entry, especially the Thomas one. The secret to winning is actually following the small rules. You must send it through as a video response. If it's not through as a video response, it will not be seen. I'm going to give you an option of two prizes. Either you accept this Bachman Thomas with Clarabelle and Annie, or, considering you're a bit of a Lego freak, this Star Wars Lego TIE Fighter, an absolutely excellent Lego set. I know from your Mini-Me entry, which I've never saw before, but I've seen now, you already have a Bachman Thomas, so maybe you would enjoy the TIE Fighter. It's up to you. TIE Fighter, Thomas. TIE Fighter, Thomas. TIE Fighter, Thomas. Which one is it going to be? Okay, let's now find out who has won this booty of $5 toys. Gonna make one beautiful Christmas present. Well, congratulations to Jake Gibbett. Hope I've said your name correctly there. I did look at your feed tab and there was my content. I was very happy to see it, and also other people that I know. And what you've told me is the best value is SpongeBob, the best playability is the Mighty Beans, and for collectability, the old Lego minifigure. Well, congratulations Jake, but I've got an extra surprise for you because we're getting up close to Christmas and we like surprises. I'm also going to throw in what you see on screen there. Let's take a look. I've got two Lego Racer sets. Those were in Aldi in the country where I reside recently, and they were snapped up real fast. I've got Angry Birds Star Wars. You can probably report back to me whether that's good, bad or indifferent. I'm yet to play with that. And I've got this Creo set. It's a combat chopper. I've never built one of these. The Creo blocks are the same as Oxford, and if it's Oxford it's going to be pretty good quality. So you're going to have one mega Christmas. So Jake Gibbett, if I lay out all the prizes together, and that's the little $5 toys combined with the ones that I threw in extra that nobody knew about, this is what it looks like. It's an awesome prize, and I think you're going to have loads and loads of fun playing with all these new toys. I'm actually thinking of doing a $10 toy challenge, and that's a Robo-Fish. And where I live, these are around $10, and I notice there's a whole bunch of toys which are priced around that $10 mark. But look, I've only just had these for a little while. I won't say too much about it, but what I've noticed is after the first battery change, well, the fish sort of died. That's no trick photography, that's one dead fish. And on the day when I bought my Robo-Fish, it was like you buy one toy and get another toy free, so I ended up getting 2 Robo-Fish just for fun. And this one had a slightly different problem. Its bottom piece, where the batteries go in, split. And you can see it there, it's split right down the middle, so it sort of renders that fish useless as well. And I've tried everything to get this little fish up and running. I've tried the batteries in all sorts of different ways. I've put him in deep water, I've put him in shallow water. They're supposedly activated by just being in water. I've tried, I don't know, I've lost count of how many batteries I've tried, and they've all got some sort of charge in it, so I'm completely lost. So who out there has played with Robo-Fish? Maybe you can help me get mine up and running. I'd really like to know. When these little guys are up and running, they were a whole lot of fun. So there are all the prizes in boxes, and they're waiting for the owners to contact me and give me address details of where to send them. Please tell me if you do not want those prizes, and I will select someone else who is worthy of them. I've had so many prizes in the past where people have not claimed them. It's beyond belief, actually, how many people do not claim their prizes. It's sort of one of the mysteries of YouTube. Anyway, I've redone what I call my big table down in my garage. It's the one where I show the larger things that I bring to video, and I'm going to go for a little bit of a different approach this time. I've got here what were old doors in the house, and I've painted them up, and I've made this table is actually a fair bit bigger than what I had before. So if I get a big G-scale train set in here, I can actually land it on here now. I'm going to use carpet tiles of this grey colour. It was black before, and the one problem with black is you need heaps of light to light anything. You get nothing back from black in essence, so black's very unforgiving when it comes to light. It likes to suck up light, and I think the carpet tiles will work for me because, as you know, I like blowing stuff up, and if I do come and put burns in this or anything, I can just get a tile, sorry Thomas, and basically take the burnt tile away and come in and put a fresh one in. That's the plan. Well, anyway, hopefully I'll be able to bring some nice new videos on that nice new table. Well, here's a silly bit attached to the end of the video because it's something I meant to talk about and I totally forgot. Remember I bought that Lego Technique digger? Well, my Chinese one came in, the cheap Chinese one has come in at my local hobby store. That digger there is about half the price of that Lego digger. Now, which one of these is going to be the more awesome digger? Especially when I put them up as a battle of digger versus digger. Will one of them rip the other one apart? Will that cheap Chinese junket rip the Lego digger into smithereens? Do you want to see this video or not? I'm half curious myself. It's going to be a tricky one to make. I've got the feeling it's going to be fairly time consuming. But do tell me if you want to see digger versus digger, or do you want to go and see like Thomas versus Thomas again? I'm pretty sure that's all people ever want to see, is Thomas getting smashed up against another Thomas. And if you've lasted this long in this very boring video, I thank you for doing so, and bye for now.